Jersey bad boys.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. I've been listening to a lot of country and getting it going. I just love listening to country because I'm like, I can't relate to rap music anymore. It's not my thing. But country
anymore. In your youth, you could.
In my youth, I could. Just it was a lot of the gangster rap.
Back when you were a Crip.
Yeah. And now that I've left that lifestyle behind me, I just can't relate to it anymore. But listening to country, I can just relate to nothing but their raised up trucks and going mudding and hunting and everything. That's just the type of person I am.
Drinking beer,
hot chicks,
hot trucks, Budweiser. Did we say beer? Love beer.
I swear that the country music industry is just one big advertisement for beer brands.
Yeah, for Budweiser and
that and
American flags.
Yeah, the stars and bars.
Yeah, overalls, Wrangler jeans.
Yeah, because they're just name dropping. It's kind of like rap in a way where they're talking about all the brands they're wearing in country. They're just doing it in a different way. They're talking about really cheap shit, but it's so funny. Like
in my Chevy pickup truck. And
I listen to some songs and they're kind of catchy, but then I look up the country artist. And it's like, oh, yeah, they graduated with a BS in business administration from this 4-year university.
Yeah. Or like Keith Urban. You're Australian. Why are you an American country singer? That makes no sense,
It's so much of the country sing, like Casey Musgraves is pretty popular now.
Yeah.
I believe she started, or maybe still is, a country music singer, right? But some of her songs that come on the radio that, a lot of girls I know that like, they're not country at all. And I feel like they come to a point where it's like, listen, you've reached the peak of country music. You're topping all of these charts time and time again. But that market is only about 500,000 people.
Yeah.
If you just take out the fucking banjo and you'll hit the charts and you'll be huge in Korea.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Some of them like start to pop it up.
That's what it is. Yeah. Taylor Swift made that move and she really blew up after that. They kind of like got to capitalize on their market. It's kind of like in comedy. Like you can be this underground great comic, but you got to mainstream yourself somehow.
Yeah. And some people will switch if they're not doing hot in other markets. They'll become a country singer. And they'll just be huge in country music, which is like a very big market, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they'll just blow up there. And it's like, then they're just singing about all these inauthentic experiences that they're having. Like, grew up on a farm, my daddy had a truck. And it's like, you're from Connecticut.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, this is a good market.
Yeah, it's a great market to be in, you know. Like Luke Bryan, I was reading a lot about him. And he makes $42 million a year.
From what, American Idol?
Who is he on American Idol? Or is it Brad?
No, it's Luke Bryan.
Is it? I have no idea. I only know from a few of his songs.
I watched American Idol this season.
Oh, shit.
It was great. It was great. I'm a big...
But he probably was making serious mainstream bank on it then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those judges have to make a killing, dude.
Oh,
it's him, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie.
Oh, yeah. I've seen Katy Perry on there. Yep. Yeah. I've seen some of the photos posted on Facebook. Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. No, I dropped in on a couple episodes for a few jerks.
Yep. Every now and then I'll just take a peek at the photos. Go back.
You weren't there for Lionel?
No, wasn't really there for Mr. Richie, but
they have great chemistry, man. The judges are great.
Really good chemistry.
Yep.
Really good chemistry is really what it's all about.
Katy Perry is also so hot.
Yeah, and she went through a few weird phases where she was changing the hairstyle.
She's definitely a weirdo. You could tell just from her personality on the show. She's pretty funny, actually. But she's definitely weird. Definitely hot.
Yeah, and I don't see how you can get to that level of fame and fortune without being pretty batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
It's a long way to the top if you want to be normal.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And how else are you going to get there if you don't get out there and start dating? That's where I saw a recent Dear Annie article, and it was entitled, Dear Annie, I started dating again. When do I disclose my terminal illness? I mean, what better way? They should have a Netflix series. They have it for, what is it, Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah.
They should have it for people with terminal illnesses.
Yeah, and just people that come on, they're like, look, I'm not looking for anything long term.
Definitely nothing long term.
You got to start with that. Now I will read that differently if I see that in somebody's bio. If I was like single and on Tinder or something, it's like not looking for anything long term. I'd be like, are they terminally ill?
Yeah. What do you have? Rabies, lymphoma. Let's do a walk together. Let's raise
Yeah.
some money.
I love how rabies was your go-to. Like terminal illness. What do they have? Rabies?
Have you ever seen
You know
videos?
that's going around.
Have you ever seen video of people that got rabies?
No, I
It
have
is-
not at the time.
It is really eye-opening. I saw a video of one of the first guys that they got on video with rabies, and you get like a phobia to water. You can't
Really?
swallow water. So then
because
you
you have like a mental like
yeah, the guy
fear?
this guy is just basically chained to a bed, and in the beginning he's like alert and he's there, and then like a few weeks in he's just like all over the place. He's like, they try and shove water down his throat and he's just like spitting it out. You
No.
basically kill yourself like inadvertently by
Whoa.
it's a disgust. You start foaming at the mouth, like you like
Because
go
they're
psych
so dehydrated?
and you go psychotic. Yeah, you go totally insane throughout the entire thing. Yeah.
Whoa, so like it's a more of a mental thing. It makes you kind of go crazy and then forces your physical
Yeah.
self to, stop
Yeah.
stop drinking water so that you die.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It is pretty
That's
wild.
brutal.
It is brutal. And I think the answer to this question about when do I disclose my terminal illness, it really depends on how much money you have. Because if you come to
True.
the table saying that you have a shit ton of money and you're terminally ill, I mean, you can get Katy Perry.
Yeah, and then you tell them right away.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What?" And first you start with how much you're making.
Yeah.
Look, I came into some money with my family and I have about $3 million in the bank.
Yeah.
Also, I have 2 months to live.
Yeah.
They'll probably ride it out with you.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll stick it out for it. They'll stick through it.
Yeah, so you definitely want to preface that you have money first.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I don't know if there's a great time to drop that you're terminally ill.
Unless you show up to the Red Robin, you have the date at with an oxygen tank in hand, and you look like Walter White towards the end, kind of thing.
Now, I don't know if you read this full article. Are they genuinely? Is there somebody that is writing this that is in a relationship with someone? They're like, I don't know when to tell them.
So they're out in the dating scene, it seems like, and they were like, when is it appropriate to bring up the subject? Because he wants to be honest up front. Some of my friends think that I'm trying to play the sympathy card. Others say it's like I'm trying to start a serious relationship that I need to disclose it. So what's the opinion? And the person basically said that whatever feels right to you.
Yeah, I don't. Here's my question about being terminally ill. Why are you looking
For love?
Why are you looking to date right now?
Why is that? You're like, I only got 4 months to live. You know what I want to do is I want to hit the dating scene.
Yeah, why are you looking to get to know somebody? Just spend the time with people that you know. Go see an ocean. Go travel.
Do something. It's like, no, I want to sit
Just
inside.
take a bunch of one-night stands and just bang out whoever you want. Don't look for why are you looking to get in a relationship?
Yeah, save up a bunch of money and use that money to buy the finest prostitutes that Gloucester County can afford. Yeah.
Cash out a credit card and hit the Cherry Hill Mall.
Yeah. You hit Cherry Hill Mall. You could go to the Deptford Mall, maybe the Moorestown Mall.
Get your ears pierced.
Yeah, you can go into Claire's and get your ears pierced. Really go out with a bang. Why do you want to spend it inside of a bar going like, what did you say? It's just,
I would not be. Well, I guess did they say how long they have? With this terminal illness, months.
They're
Okay,
taking a
so
low
that's-
dose. They're taking a low dose chemotherapy pill, but they have months to live. And the person said, any potential love interest who thought you were playing a sympathy card by telling them that is not a good partner. Better to weed out people who won't love all of you sooner rather than later. Yeah, sooner rather than later is a good way to put it.
I love how they're putting it on them too. Like, if you don't like me as I'm dying, you're like, well, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody who you don't quite know yet. Who's like, look, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker completely that you're almost dead, but I am kind of looking for something long term.
Yeah, exactly, long term, and it's not long term doesn't go hand in hand with terminal illness.
Yeah.
But I think
terminal.
If you got a shit ton of money, then you disclose that up front because you got the cream of the crop coming your way. If you don't have a lot of money, you better start taking some acting classes.
Also, if you are terminally ill and they're saying, you tell people that and they're not willing to be in a long-term relationship with you, if you're telling people, I think there's a Seth Rogen movie based off this, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt gets cancer.
Huh, sounds familiar.
I never saw it, but I think they just tell people that he's ill and has cancer, and he probably winds up banging a bunch of chicks because they all feel bad.
And that was called Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Great movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a different plot.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another thing that I saw. The hurricane season is upon us. And you know how they change and they come up with the names every single year?
Yes.
They come up with storm names and everything. Some of these names you won't see again, which we will get to. But here's the list for 2022 Atlantic storm names.
Ooh, let's see what we got.
We got Alex, Bonnie,
All right.
Colin, Danielle, Earl, Fiona, Gaston.
Whoa.
Is that Hermione? Hermine?
I think it might be Hermine.
Ian, Julia, Carl, Lisa, Martin, Nicole, Owen, Paula, Richard, Sherry with a Y. That's a real kick in the dick to anyone named Sherry, like, Sherrie,
Yep.
Sherry. Tobias. There's another one. Virginie?
Virginie. Yeah.
I think
Not
Virginie.
Virginie.
Virginie. And then Walter. Which
They're great. These are the weirdest names.
they got to come up with some very standard, just your average Joe kind of names, but then they got to really go out on a limb.
If you had to pick one, what's your favorite?
Let's go 2 categories: your favorite, and one that's going to be a category 5 and put multiple people on the fucking street.
Well, that would be my favorite.
Oh, same for me then. So it's going to be one favorite, and the one that's going to tear shit up. I'm going to go with Nicole. Nicole is going to rip
It's
apart.
gonna wreck a city.
Because every time I think of Nicole causing destruction anywhere, it's usually a 44-year-old woman going into a Marshall's on a Saturday afternoon. And she's not refolding any shit she takes off the shelves.
Yes.
It's just she is the hurricane of the Marshall's back office.
Yeah, Nicole is the hurricane of. If you disagree with her, she will tear your house down.
Yeah, I mean, even Danielle, too. I mean, just ask
Yeah.
anybody working the window at Starbucks in the drive-thru what their experience with the Danielle has been.
Yeah, I would say my favorite is Gaston, just as
Yeah.
a fan of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think Beauty and the Beast is going to try and market something around Gaston?
Oh, yeah. No one tears down houses like Gaston. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the rest of the words, but I think that could be catchy.
Yeah.
And it could lift people's spirits afterward. Be like, look, guys, I know we've been through a lot of shit, but we did get a great jingle out of this.
And Hurricane Earl is just going to absolutely obliterate every trailer park in the southern states.
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be a category 4 headed right to Arkansas.
I like Hurricane Tobias, just as a Sixers fan also.
Yeah.
Because it'll probably miss.
Yeah, it's going to miss. That's definitely going to miss there. Walter is, if it even gets to that, I kind of feel bad for the names towards the end because they go in alphabetical order, which is fucked up. They should have a lottery because the Vegas betting odds of which names are going to be first, it would be a whole market of its own.
Yeah. Richard is also a sleeper. Hurricane Dick.
Hurricane Dick.
That's kind of like, very appropriate for a hurricane. Like, it's a very dick move.
Hurricane Dick.
Just kind of come through and just fuck shit up.
It does, yeah. And then they get the names, and they have an entire organization that comes up with the names every single year. However,
really, so that's somebody's job.
It's a whole a committee of people. They represent the National Hurricane Center. They have lists of names.
Oh,
but
get me on that.
There's a lot of names
Committee.
that have come up and they've been thrown out there before. Some get reused, but ones will no longer be reused, and that's names of storms that have killed a lot of people.
What?
It's basically like if you've won American Idol, you can't re-enter.
Yeah, wow, they were too good.
They were too good.
They retired their jersey.
They hang the jersey of Hurricane
That's
Ida in the
fucked up.
rafters. Yeah, Hurricane
Sandy.
Yeah,
That
Hurricane
was a good
Harvey.
one.
Remember Harvey? Hurricane Harvey just really comes off the tongue nicely.
Yeah,
It's like
Hurricane
ordering an Italian meal at a restaurant where it's not in English.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Igor. I don't remember Igor.
they got Irma. I remember Hurricane Irma. Irene. That was a good one.
Where's Katrina?
You know what? Good point.
Whoa, they did not.
They didn't retire Katrina. They're like, it was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't win an Oscar. So let's get back out there.
Wow, haters on Katrina.
I mean, Sandy, definitely.
Sandy was
These are
sick.
just some other storm names during recent years. So maybe Katrina's on that list.
Katrina's got to be the number one
this
hurricane that fucking wrecked.
Katrina was probably the quickest, from after it was over till first ballot Hall of Fame name to get
maybe
on the
just,
retired hurricane.
Automatically inducted.
Yeah, automatically inducted. The one thing that's annoying is that they name every single hurricane that pops up when it's not, they name tropical storms to a degree. They don't do this for tornadoes. They don't do this for everything. It's just specifically hurricanes. Why do they
Yeah.
get names?
I don't know. Why are they special?
I don't know. I mean, tornadoes just happen so quickly. I guess because hurricanes, it's literally like it's forming, it's changing paths. It's like you're watching like season 1 of a
True.
show.
What about a twister? How come they don't name twisters?
I guess it's the same kind of thing. Like
Is that technically a hurricane? It's just like no, it's those
twisters,
are
tornado. I don't know if there's a difference between a twister and tornado.
Twister. Yeah, I don't know actually.
Twister was just a really good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah, and Titty Twisters. Really good.
That's a fan favorite.
That's a fan favorite. Purple Nurples and Titty Twisters. What are the differences?
My buddy's screen name used to be Purple Nurple. Hilarious. We talked about the AIM screen names.
Yeah.
And Titty Twister, I remember a kid got kicked out of school for giving a girl, we were in like the 4th grade, gave a girl a titty twister. He got kicked out of school.
He kicked out of school, like expelled?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh.
They threw him right out. He got a good twist in, and then they were like, you're going to have to leave the school.
Oh God! Now did that girl like stick around forever? Like, were you guys graduating high school at some point? You're like, hey, you were the girl who got her tits twisted.
I don't know what happened to her. I think, I don't know. I mean, I think that it was traumatic titty situation.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those. We had in our school, we had
Sure.
a lot of people have the what do you call them? Like spirit weeks, where they had a different day each week.
Mhm.
We kind of had that, but it was an every week basis. We had Tipper Tuesdays. We had Open Neck Fridays.
Where's Tipper Tuesdays?
You just come up and you ball tap people down the hallway.
Okay.
Literally every single Tuesday, people just walk down the hallway with their hands over their dicks.
Man,
Yeah.
God.
Then we had that. Open neck was a bad one because I got a really long neck. If people just come up to you, they just pile drive you right in the back
If
of your
you
neck.
had an open neck.
If your neck was open and wasn't covered by something,
So what did people wear? Turtlenecks? Like
turtlenecks, hoodies like this to just cover their necks so that they couldn't get smacked.
Did you ever get smacked up?
Oh yeah, all there. The Tipper Tuesdays.
Wow, I hate that.
Uh,
An open
I hate
neck,
it too. Yeah,
like that would really make me mad if somebody slapped me in the back of the neck.
Dude, we had so many assholes in our like middle school class this
Yeah.
one time. Did you ever like during our lunch period, our periods were maybe 45, 50 minutes long. So we all eat lunch quickly and then like, a group of us would just hang out in the boys' bathroom.
Yeah.
We'll just go in there and just, I feel like it was like 1950s style where we're sitting in there smoking cigarettes,
Sure.
like wearing leather jackets, but it was really just us, a bunch of idiot teenagers. This one kid kicked a urinal off the wall, broke the pipe, and there's water everywhere.
God, was this kid a donkey, dude?
Yeah.
What kind of strength does he have?
We were
in
just
those-
like, let's see how many kicks it can take to break this pipe.
wow, just like a Tootsie Pop.
Yeah. How many kicks will it take to get to the center of this water problem? Yeah. And a old lunch lady, probably 75 years old,
Dang.
little short lunch lady. She had like almost a beard growing on her third chin.
Dude.
She was yelling at us to get out of the bathroom at the door, but she wasn't going to walk in because it was a boys' bathroom. So she's screaming. The kid that kicked the urinal off the wall yelled, "Bite my dick." She's like, "You kids need to get out of the bathroom." He's like, "Bite my dick." And she went and got the principal, who was a man.
I mean, I'm surprised that he would even double. Like, it's like, dude, I guess he figured I'm already in so much trouble for kicking off the urinal. I'm going to throw in a bite my dick.
Yeah. You might as well. So he did that. She got the principal. The principal came and he came into the bathroom, got us all out. As we're walking out, the late lunch lady's standing there with the principal, and she turns to him and she's like, "They were in there screaming, 'Bite my dick.'" There was nothing better for my middle school years than hear an old woman say they were in there screaming, "Bite my dick."
That was the really funny part about being in middle school and stuff, when you look back and you think about the stuff that you would do to teachers.
Oh yeah.
And then thinking about them having to report back to a supervisor or a higher up what happened. Like, so Dan's gonna be in trouble. They're like, what happened? Well, he told me to bite my dick. I don't even have a dick. Doesn't make any sense. And I thought it was really inappropriate. Like, that's funny thinking that they have to report that, and that's their job.
That is their. It's
unfortunate, that teachers have to go through that shit.
Just like we were saying
But
earlier,
it's funny.
It's a long time to work your way up places, and in a school environment and administration thing, you got to start out as a vice principal of an elementary school dealing with some troublemakers that are in the third grade.
Yeah.
What can you do? Speaking
you
of the
do?
third grade, you see the Backstreet Boys are coming to Camden
Are they?
summer. Yeah, July 14th, which I have a show that night.
we
I was
go-
was looking and I was like,
Can
we
you
should go down
cancel
there.
your show?
I would have to really bark up the wrong tree with James Kelly and Robert Stant.
Oh, fuck those guys.
Fuck them.
I'm kidding. I'm doing this show. I might be on the same show.
July
actually.
14th. Yeah.
I don't know. But
We should go to a concert in Camden and walk around and do,
we should do a comic strip and get a bunch of comics and go to like a random concert in Camden.
Oh yeah, we can podcast
That
from
would be a
there.
blast.
I had an idea the other week of doing Boys on the Boardwalk. It's like Man on the Street, but it's Boys
Ooh.
on the Boardwalk. We just go to random boardwalks. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
we venture into North Jersey.
Scout out the town in Wildwood.
Yeah. Speaking of Wildwood, here we go right here. I don't know if you know of this house. A unique A-frame house in Wildwood is saved from demolition. Do you know of this
Whoa.
house?
I don't know. I feel like I maybe do. It looks like a teepee.
There's an entire preservation group that has been working to save this house,
Whoa.
saying it's a big relief. But a house like this, I'm like, why are people trying to save this from being demolished?
That's pretty cool.
It's a neat looking house, but I mean,
it's a neat looking house.
it's a guy who bought the house, splits his time between New Jersey and California.
How big is that place? Like 5 feet?
It's probably 5 feet. It was built in the 1960s by a guy using a Sears Roebuck kit. So literally a guy that was probably just drunk on the weekends, like, I'm going to build a house out of a kit from Sears.
That is built by a homeless guy.
Yeah.
That's just a really good fort. That's not a house. That's why I'm like, keep it up, because that's a cool ass fort. I would not consider that a house.
And now this guy who bought it is going to move it. So he doesn't know where he's going to put it permanently, but he's
Dude,
going to
just like put it in your backyard.
That's what he's like. I'm going to put it where I have a construction yard and a horse stable. I'm going to put it there. But he said that the house.
Yeah, scroll down. I'm gonna see how big this actually looks.
Look at that.
That's pretty sick, dude. The roof goes all the way to the floor.
It's a neat clubhouse. But
Yeah.
like, as far as a house goes, I'm just like, yeah, I would attend the demolition.
Me and my buddies would have lived in there our senior summer.
That's what I'm
For
like. Why
sure.
wasn't like this should
It's
have
probably
been
bigger than the place that we lived in.
It said that it was used as a clubhouse for a bottle collector group where he was the president of it, and it was the headquarters of a national stamp collectors club.
Sounds like a cult.
Sounds like a cult, and it has a lot of history in Wildwood.
Yeah, I bet that's where they have
not
the
every
meetings.
not every piece of history needs to be preserved, especially if it's in Wildwood. Don't you think there's far better pieces of history in Wildwood to preserve?
No, I don't.
Yeah, actually, you make a good
I
point.
don't think there's anything better than that fort to preserve from Wildwood.
Yeah,
I think you could tear down the whole city of Wildwood.
and it really
Just have the
wouldn't be
beach.
you wouldn't be missing much.
No.
Yeah. He said that he's been wanting to get the community to save it. I mean, just look at that.
I love it.
It's pretty unique,
I
but
wonder, how much you think that
they were selling it for like $160,000 something dollars. And a guy,
What?
could you imagine? My house was just barely more expensive than that, and I have more than 10 square feet. It's
160,000? Like,
I think it was 169 or something.
in
like
what
that.
world?
New Jersey real estate. That's the world we're living in, and it's
I mean, that's a tiny house.
a different
Like,
planet.
even some of those tiny houses, they are worth, like, the people are like, oh yeah, you saved so much money, and then they're like, we bought this or built this thing for $150,000. I'm like, how much are you really saving
Yeah.
to live in a shoebox?
And then not even that. The move cost $18,000 to move the house because he's moving it somewhere.
Yeah, dude, just build another fort in a day.
Yeah, if you could just build another one of these.
Build another fort.
He thinks that you're being useless. You're not using materials properly if you're just demolishing a house. It's just like I think you can just demolish it and rebuild something else.
He should keep that, rent that as like a unique, trippy Airbnb experience to people, and then just build a new fort that when he rents that out, that
Yeah.
pays for his new fort.
Yeah, it's a really cool fort, and I think that he could. And I'm trying to figure out to see where, because this guy's location. I was reading about this. Oh, fuck, where is it? Here it is. The guy who bought it. He's the owner of Destination Destiny, a company that offers eco-friendly funeral options.
That sounds like a traveling strip club.
Destination Destiny.
Yeah.
And here's Destiny coming to the stage, and her destination is your lap.
Yeah, we will take you to whatever destination you want with our favorite stripper, Destiny. We
Yeah.
bring the strip club experience to you.
And we bring it to you on the back of a tractor trailer inside of this little teepee-looking house.
In a fort in Wildwood.
I don't see why he wouldn't just turn this into something a part of his eco-friendly funeral option. I mean, here's an eco-friendly funeral option.
What is the eco-friendly funeral option?
I'm assuming it's a more sustainable version of a cremator. Cremator, is that a cremator?
Cremation.
The fact that cream is one of the words in cremation.
Yeah.
Is it cremation?
Yeah. Crematory.
Crematorium.
Cremator.
Yeah.
Crematator.
They start. I mean, look at that ramp you could have for bikes on the side of this house to begin with.
If you're a skateboarder.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Off of that.
He did say they started a GoFundMe. They've only raised $1,000 through their GoFundMe.
There's half the price of the house.
And can I just say about GoFundMes? Don't you hate the people that share GoFundMes and ask people to donate it to them, and then you go right to the people that have donated and they're not on the list?
Yes.
I think it should be illegal to share a GoFundMe link unless you have donated to it.
Most GoFundMes, I think, are scams.
Oh, yeah. I naturally think that if, hey, I started a GoFundMe, it's kind of like telling people you have Cash App. It's like, nah, there's something fishy here. Why don't you have Venmo?
Yeah.
There's something going on. This is...
I'll PayPal you.
Yeah, I'll PayPal you. Why don't you just send me a Western Union, you scumbag? Yeah. I see people that do that all the time with sharing a GoFundMe. As soon as I see someone share it, I can immediately say, that person didn't donate to it. And then I went to the page and little did I know, they didn't even donate $5.
Yeah, that bothers me so much because they get all the credit for organizing the GoFundMe, which is just like probably takes 2 seconds to do on the internet. And then it's like, look at all the good that I'm doing. You guys give up all the money because I started this.
Yeah.
But then they're not donating anything.
Yeah.
But they're organizing it, which doesn't take much to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the one exception I will make for it where you share a GoFundMe and you haven't donated to it is if you're specifically asking people not to donate to this GoFundMe. For example, in the past, I may or may not have shared a GoFundMe for one of my neighbors that passed away, but they were just a dick. It's like, do not share this GoFundMe or donate to it, by the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. This guy wasn't what they call an upstanding individual in the community.
Right.
This guy took 3 weeks to cut his lawn every single summer. Just that type of person. Just,
gotcha.
Get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out.
Well, God did, apparently.
Yeah, apparently he did. Crematory, premium. Where the fuck did that come from? Premium sounds like a subscription model to a really dirty
to their
porn
business.
Site. Yeah.
You pay the premium membership.
Yeah. I saw an ad. I'm going to show you here, completely off the cuff. I had to take a screenshot of it. You know of my absolute distaste for the Philadelphia cream cheese company, right?
Yeah, we've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, how Philly cream cheese, they always say Philly this and Philly that. Well, it's never been made in Philadelphia, ever. They are a company based out of New York, and they latched on to the name Philadelphia because Philadelphia was the dairy capital of the world when the company was started. So it was a total sham from the get-go.
Just riding our coattails.
Exactly.
That's what New York does.
They started an ad. I saw an ad from their Canadian Twitter account because I use a VPN that places me in Canada. So I see everything Canadian. Makes sense, right? Did you see this article about how some protester went into the, is it the Louvre? The Paris Art Museum, where he smeared cake all over the Mona Lisa?
I think I did hear about that, but I don't know the story, so please explain.
It was a guy that was trying to protest for environmental rights or something, or environmental whatever, and saying that like we need to think about the environment, climate change, all this. So he went in there disguised as an old lady in a wheelchair.
What?
He was dressed as an old woman in a wheelchair.
Why did he have to go in disguise so that, like, if somebody called him, they'd be like...
I guess it's like, oh, it's just an old lady in a wheelchair. She's not going to have a piece of cake in her pocket.
Why would they assume anybody's going to have a piece of cake?
So he goes in there and he stands up from the wheelchair and he has a cake and he just goes up and he starts smattering it all over the Mona Lisa. But this guy hasn't realized the Mona Lisa is behind like a foot of bulletproof glass. Like
that's crazy. But what's crazier is when they found him and they were like, "Oh, you're dressed up like an old lady."
Yeah,
like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You see, he has to go into jail and he's like taking the bra off and he's just like, "Yeah, but climate. I hope.
Oh yeah,
I hope." So the Philadelphia Cream Cheese Company took that story and they created an ad and it says a man smeared creamy cake across the Mona Lisa. It looked like cream cheese to us, but was it with Philly? If there's one cream cheese that's worthy of the love, it's Philadelphia. The Louvre, the love, get it? And then hashtag schmear campaign. And there's their ad.
Yeah, pretty cute for people defacing public art.
Defacing property, and it's just a slap in the face to this, one of the most famous art pieces.
And they're like, we better hope it was Philadelphia cream cheese.
Was it cream cheese that did it? It's just like how... I mean, not that it's like, oh, somebody took art and they are...
I can't believe you can even get close enough to touch it.
Oh, yeah. It's you can get
so famous.
They have ropes and everything. If you want to get by it, you obviously can.
And they don't have... Yeah, I guess that's funny. It's like, you see it in, the movies and stuff, and you picture there being like guards or something. But...
Yeah. So this thing, I kind of was thinking about it.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to be able to get that off?
They already wiped it off because it's just on glass. It's cake smeared on glass. It's not on the actual painting.
This guy was like, I'm going to fucking figure
and
this
now
out.
He's in the headlines everywhere. Cream cheese companies are doing ads on him. But just like, of course, it comes from the company that is a total sham of a name, that they run a campaign like that basically is a slap in the face to this artist that's been dead for several hundred years.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what? Like, in what world is that? Like, people are trashing it, by the way. It's getting the attention that they want, but I don't think it's positive attention for them. Is there any such thing as bad PR? That whole saying? I don't know. But it's like, what if a company did that as an ad campaign to some other senseless tragedy that happened?
Yeah.
Like,
or if that was a statue of like a very prominent person.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, I hope they use Philadelphia cream cheese. And it's like, that's Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, let's not fucking joke about that.
Yeah.
That would be so fucked up.
Yeah. And not even that. It's just any type of, fuck. I mean, you can go as far as, look at you didn't see United coming out talking about, was that a United plane that hit the Twin Towers?
Yeah. That would be a tough marketing.
Obviously, no one died.
Should have flown Spirit.
Yeah, you should have. All you people talking shit about Frontier.
Yeah.
Well,
Spirit.
Yeah, there you go. Was it BP oil that was in those?
Should have flown American.
Yeah, should have flown American. I think there was an American plane. This is going to get into a whole different conspiracy.
God damn it!
But what a web we weave with these cream cheese companies that claim they're from Philadelphia.
Now, is that guy going to do any jail time?
I imagine so. It's in France. The French, I don't know. It's if he was in America, that if he tried to smear cream cheese on an American flag just anywhere, he'd get 6 months in prison at a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine what would happen to that guy over here.
Yeah.
God forbid he had a quarter of an ounce of marijuana in his pocket too. The guy
would probably kill him.
Yeah, death sentence immediately.
Yeah.
Just throw him off the top of the Statue of Liberty. But it's just wild to see just these cream cheese companies. And every chance I get, I'm going to go after them. I might slap them with a libel lawsuit of my own and shit in their bed sheets.
Your biggest passion.
This is one of my biggest passions. Some say that if I spent that much time on schoolwork and productive things in college and high school, I probably would be in a different position today. But I've made it my life mission, and I'm willing to go there.
Yeah, did you see that Johnny Depp?
I saw it, but I haven't been following it.
I haven't been following it either. From what I understand, Johnny Depp, they both won in certain ways. Like I think Johnny Depp won $15 million in defamation, in the defamation suit, and they gave Amber Heard $2 million for something he said that defamed her in a way where they said, I think he said that she set him up, like she tried to say something and he said it was a hoax. They knew going into it that they were setting him up, and they claimed that was defamation against her, so she got $2 million. So here's my takeaway. I'm like, so they both walked away with millions of dollars?
Yeah, they both did.
She got $2 million, he got $15 million.
I saw that.
That's a good deal.
I saw that because of Virginia's laws, he's only going to be able to clear like 8 or 9 million or something like that.
So because of taxes?
No. I think that there's a law that says that he can't get more than 10 or more than 15. But like he was able to file that in Virginia, which I thought was weird. Like, and this is complete ignorance of the case and how the law with this works, but it's like those two are doing a civil case, and he got to choose Virginia because of Virginia's laws being more. I was like, can I just be like, oh, if I'm going to sue somebody, I'm going to sue them in the state of North Dakota because North Dakota is known to be like, how can I even do that?
Yeah, like if you're suing somebody and you're like, oh, I'll do it in Texas
Yeah,
because they're more, they
exactly.
have the death penalty.
Yeah. So that's what I was, but yeah, I think he's only clearing like 8 or 9, but then she's getting 2. So like, does that mean what he gets is just taking her 2 off, or does she get 2 million? She's got to pay 2 million. These civil cases, most people never even pay this money back anyway.
I feel like it's all stupid. Like I remember hearing that from watching the OJ show, where they're like, he still just lived his life and never even paid his shit.
Yeah, he still is. Yeah, because I mean, they just took a bunch of his property. Do you know his Heisman Trophy is actually in a safe deposit box in Philly?
Really?
The guy who bought his Heisman Trophy after the whole Vegas incident, because he went to go steal it back, some guy bought it, and the guy who bought it, they don't disclose his name, but he did tell somebody that he is just keeping it in a safety deposit box in a bank in Philadelphia. And it's just like, why even buy it? Like, he's just buying it so that when he dies, somebody can be like, oh, I have this, and we're going to see it come up on, TMZ that his Heisman Trophy is for sale again.
The fact that that OJ, was so mad that he was still thinking about his Heisman Trophy and was like, I need to get this back. Like that is really was such a like he wasn't happy that he just got off of a murder charge and wasn't sentenced to life in prison. He was like, you know what's bullshit? I deserve that fucking trophy.
Yeah. So let's just not, I'm not going to make anybody question whether or not I was guilty before, but I'm going to call my buddies and ask them to get some guns, and we're going to rob somebody in a hotel room in Vegas.
Wow.
Like Tupac style, just run in there.
And he's still out.
And he's still out. He's back out now. He's on the streets banging white women on golf courses in Vegas.
It's crazy, dude. I know girls from high school that have seen him out, that have posted pictures with him.
They love him. Women love OJ.
Yeah. And they're the same, blonde, beautiful blonde hair, white women.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, you are his prey.
Yeah. I hope none of those girls are dating a waiter. Because who knows what's going to happen there.
But I'm like, you're taking a fun picture. I saw Barstool posted something where there were like some girls that like woke up were in his room, or they broke into his room. They're like, I'm with OJ or something. And I'm like, do you guys understand what he did? And you like think it's cool to be dancing around with a fucking murderer?
Because he's tied in with the Kardashians, or was, and there's like one of the Real Housewives was his Nicole Brown's friend, or was friend with the Jenners, and they have this whole tie-in. So it has this whole celebrity slash.
Yeah, but it's fun.
But now that I think about it, it really is like a perfect storm, because it's celebrity gossip and news.
Yep.
It's Real Housewives related, like true crime as well. You're tying in
athletics.
And you're tying in 3 of the biggest things. But then most guys are just like, yeah, but he rushed for 2,000 yards in one season. Did you ever see the video of OJ when they did a public access show with him?
No.
Oh my God. They did. I don't know who approved this for him to do it, but he went on a public access show where people were calling in, asking him questions a few years after the whole case.
Yeah.
This might have been late 90s, early 2000s. And this one guy calls in, it's all prank calls basically.
Yeah.
And it's live on the air and they have to shut it off really quickly. One of the calls was, he was just like, Juice, what do you think was a bigger feat? Rushing for 2,000 yards in one season, or snapping 2 necks in one night? It's just, and his response was, I'm having trouble hearing you. I just need you. And then they cut the call and they went to the next one.
Wow.
There was just question like that after that, just constantly over and over and over. And it was one of the funniest things.
Doesn't seem to faze him at all, too. He's still on Twitter.
He blocked me on Twitter, that
Did
fuck. He? Yeah.
Naturally.
I sent him my joke and I said, big fan, Juice, keep killing it. And then he blocked me. But I love his motivational things on there. I love when he comments on really famous murder trials.
Yeah, or just throws out his political opinions and tells you what he thinks about COVID.
Yeah. I love all of his thoughts. He's really a thought leader that we should be molding our minds to.
He's in touch.
He's in touch and tune with it. He should get a podcast.
Dude, honestly, if he got a podcast, I would totally listen.
I would be listening to it.
He would be killing it.
He would be.
Yeah.
Well, good time. Well, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to look at the summer concert series down there at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion and see.
I think we get the boys together and we hit the pavilion and we pick out. If Aaron Carter's coming to town anytime soon, we'll hit that up.
Get him to sign our tits.
Yeah.
We'll have to go down. We'll
nice titty twister.
Get a schedule of boardwalk boys on the boardwalk that we can do. We'll have to really plan this out. Try and kill a couple of stones with one bird.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So, well, I think that pretty much wraps it up for another episode here of the Bad Boys, the realest, truest ever Bad Boys. You survived a pixie stick of death experience, and back in the saddle, no one can stop it.
That's right.
That's right. So we'll just
Till
keep
next
on.
time.
Till next time, we'll see you.